Creative ruts on the artist journey will happen. It's just a part of life. It's cyclical. It's basically like the cycle of life, right? We have this time of birth, this freshness, this newness, and then we have the life part, the living, right? And even within the living, it's up and down and around. And then we have the death part, right? Where things fall off or we just don't have it in us. And then it comes again. Sometimes, though, we are in creative ruts and it's not necessarily that season. You know, for instance, you're in that living part and then something happens and you're in this slump, but you have to keep going, right? You have to, or maybe even let things die so that you can get to the rebirth. And so I titled this video, How to Come Out of Creative Ruts Fast, because I'm going to give you three things that you can do to come out of creative ruts fast, to get past those blocks, those energetic blocks, so that you can continue to create and be your creatively free self. Hi, I'm Maisha, aka Creatively Yours Maisha, and I'm a visual artist and entrepreneur, and my mission is to help artists and creatives become creatively and financially free. I want to help you on your journey today. Okay, so the first tip I have for how you can come out of a creative rut fast is to change your environment. And let me just park right here and say that the word fast is relative, right? Because fast could mean by the end of the day, I need to get this work done, or by the end of the year, I need to get past whatever this is I'm going through. And you know, changing your environment can be something as small as, you know, moving to a new place so you can be in some fresh new energy, you know, new surroundings, see new things, a new city, or in my case, a new country. Like some of us need those extremes. And I find, you know, I can only speak to my experiences and what I've gone through, that when I move to completely new places where I don't necessarily know the culture, I don't necessarily know the language, I'm able to see and navigate things from a different place, a deeper place within me. So there is something that I share with people all the time, because I travel a lot, that even if you and another person don't speak the same language, but you need to communicate something, it will, like something serious, it will get communicated. You know, there may be some little idiosyncrasies that you miss, but it will get communicated. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that really ties into how going to a completely new environment, meaning a new country, a new place, a new culture, it helps you to tap into the deepest parts of your spirit, that human connection, right? And it's in human connection, when we really see each other, feel each other, be with each other, that we're able to create art from that deep place within us that resonates with another person across cultures, languages, whatever, right? So, you know, it doesn't have to be as extreme as a different country, of course, or a different culture, of course. Like I said, it can be, you know, just moving to a different apartment. I know that, you know, people talk about stability and all these things all the time. To me, stability means freshness. If I have the ability to have freshness, that's stability. And freshness means to me like really changing my space, literally my space, often. You know, I get very uninspired, you know, with the same humdrum thing every single day. So I highly recommend changing your environment, switch it up. And even further, let's say you can't, you know, go to another country. You can't change your living space. It may just be something as simple as changing the creative space that you work in, moving things around, you know, decluttering, making it look just new and fresh, so that it inspires you to approach things differently, so that it really lifts your mood. You know, I was notorious. I don't have a permanent workspace set up right now, mainly because I'm doing digital and I could take it with me. But I was notorious for one day the easel is over here, and then just because I feel like it, I move it over there, or I completely shut everything down and then reset it up a different way. Like whatever you need to have freshness, to create a new feeling, new energy around you, you now have permission to do that, to get out of the rut, okay? Another way to come out of a creative rut fast, or the second way to come out of a creative rut fast is to explore different mediums. Try new things with the materials you're working with. So if you are a painter, maybe a couple of days, go and take some clay classes. Go and try some sculpture with hangers or wires, right? Because sometimes, especially with painting, what I've learned is that painting is all about the layers and the buildup. And sometimes those first even 10 layers they're not pretty, They can actually uninspire you when you are going through the process. And what I found is that in that uninspiration, it can make you take a dip because you see it in your mind's eye, but what's coming out, layer 1, that took you an hour, layer 2 on a different day took you another hour, layer 3, 4, 5, 6, and now you've done 6, 7, 8 hours, and it's just not feeling good, it doesn't look good, and you take a dip. Well, that might be your invitation right there to try a different medium on top of it. To maybe go ahead and cut up some pieces of paper and glue some scraps of paper within it and push and pull. Or even go and get some mediums and take a palette knife and just slap some different mediums on it and see what happens. I used to like this stuff called, I have a little painting, an old piece I did right here. It was called, I think it was like pumice stone or something I used to put right here. And then like this metallic, I don't even know what this stuff is anymore. And then just out of pure boredom, I randomly put a piece of washi tape. It's like a piece of craft tape from Michael's, right? So just boredom. And I literally travel with this because I remember how it just pushed me, and I wrote the word freedom here. It was in this time when I was like really bored and like pushing and playing with different materials and just trying to have this freeness within a little rut that I was going through. And I know that experimenting with different materials, even all the way down to crayons and markers, always leads to like this aha moment, this creative breakthrough, right? So even if you classify yourself as a painter, don't be afraid to, use some sculptural elements in what you're doing. And all of that goes into just breaking the normal routine and the normal patterns. As artists and creatives, those things can become very boring to us very quickly because our mind is so colorful and twisting and our imagination is running free. Or you should allow your imagination to run free if you're not, right? Ride that beam of light like Einstein, really get on it and just flow and go, and then come back, into your reality and incorporate those things, without fear. That sometimes you have to be willing, especially when you're exploring with different mediums and different techniques and processes, to be unafraid to create ugly art. And I'm going to do an entire video, I wanted to do it today, about ugly art. Ugly art and letting your art be ugly is where the gold is. And I'll talk more about that because I watched a really dope video about this artist. She was teaching ugly art. And I was like, you know what? That'll preach. That's a whole sermon. Because we get so caught up in what the outcome is that we really struggle. We push, we pull through the process. And so part of being creatively free and coming out of that rut is being unafraid in the process. And so when you are experimenting with different materials and things like that, you have to truly be unafraid. You have to let go. You have to surrender. You cannot control it. I have a free resource. I'm gonna drop the link below. And one of the things that I say, that I give you, a tip that I give you, is to trust the process. You have to trust the process when you're experimenting. Just let go. Like we used to say in my church, let go and let God. Let your intuition guide the way. And the free resource is called 7 Ways to Be Intentional in Your Creative Process. And definitely, being gentle with yourself and trusting the process, trusting the flow, trusting your intuition will help you to get past any ruts that you are in. Okay, so the third way to come out of a creative rut fast is to just play around with creative exercises. Just play and have fun. And I really have to emphasize that word fun. I'm not saying that it shouldn't have your focused attention, but I think that sometimes you don't, your art is not pulling out these deep, serious emotions within you. But I think that approaching your work with this kind of, I don't want to call it frivolousness or frivolity, but with this inner childlike play is a beautiful place to be, because it takes all of the expectations off of you. It takes all of the expectations off of the outcome, and you're able to just be free. And if you think about it, one of the things I used to love to do, I used to teach elementary school art, and oh my God, I had to do yard duty with second, third, and fourth grade. I'm praying for second, third, and fourth grade teachers. Listen, second, third, and fourth grade is no joke, but I used to love to watch them play, because at the beginning of recess, they could be in one zone, Superman, firefighter, I don't know. And at the end of recess, they are in a whole other, adventure. And it was just like the most beautiful thing to just watch them, move and flow through all of these different adventures with like this freeness. And I know that as adults, right, we have responsibilities and things on our mind, but if we can approach our work with that kind of freeness and frivolity, oh my gosh, imagine what we can do, what you can do, what the joy you can bring to your work. So, another thing that you can do is give yourself short time challenges. And I'm so happy to teach this part, because one thing I used to do as a talented and gifted art teacher, in the beginning of my class, I would put like and this was just to kind of get them to relax and loosen up, because oh my gosh, high school gifted art students, I mean kids who were born with gifts, they were so hard on themselves. Everything had to be extremely perfect and right. And it was just like, it's driving me nuts. So what I would do is I would put a pot or a flower or a ball, like something simple, just to like shake them up and mess them up a little bit, to be, to let go and be free. And I would put it there, and I would put them in a circle. And I would say, okay, you have 30 seconds to sketch this. And then I would give them 30 seconds from this angle. So I would give them 30 seconds, and then they had to move. And I would start the timer again. I would give them 30 seconds. They would have to move. I would start the timer again. I would give them 30 seconds, and they just, right? They just getting it down, scribbling. And I'm like, just draw what you see. And at the end of this exercise, like, it used to be like really amazing, amazing stuff. And I had to show them that when they just played and had fun and let go, that they still were able to bring this amazing creative gift to their work. So these short time challenges will get you like really loose. It'll loosen you up. It'll free you up to get your creative juices flowing. And on that note, I want to tell you about the 27-day creativity challenge that I'm doing. So the reason why I'm doing this challenge is because I recognize that even me now, 20 years in, artists still struggle. We still struggle with just letting go and just approaching work with this freeness, this joy, putting in just a short 10, 15 minutes every day to keep those juices and that inspiration flowing. So, little short timed slots of work is a great way to come out of a creative rut, to take the pressure off of you, to actually even get work done. You would be surprised the amount of work you can get done by just putting in a little 15 minutes a day. Just 15 minutes. And I learned this by mistake. So I like to paint big, and at first I used to be like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take me so long. I see it in my mind, but how long it's gonna take me to get there? And then I was working, I was teaching gifted and talented art. I would come home and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do 30 minutes to an hour. And that's what I did. 30 minutes to an hour, no stress, a layer, let it go. And if it got to that point that I was talking about earlier in the video where I'm like, oh, this I would just turn the canvas around. You know, I would go to sleep, I would turn the canvas around and go to sleep and leave it alone. The next day, I would flip the canvas back around on the easel and put another layer. So, you know, just short challenges that will get your creative juices flowing. That is a great way to get out of a creative rut. Now, this challenge that I'm talking about, I would love for you to join us on a challenge. It's called the 27-Day Creativity Challenge. I'm going to drop the link in the description below. It's $27, and there are amazing bonuses. Like, I'm also going to do, for everybody who signs up for the challenge, I'm going to do an artist statement workshop. This is an artist statement, helps you to get clarity on what you're creating, why, who, all these things, right? We'll answer all these questions. And also, I'm offering right now a one-on-one session with me where we can like really talk about what you have going on, and I can give you some feedback and we can really unpack some things. And so if you sign up for the challenge, $27, you will also get those two bonuses. All right, so that's it for today, y'all. Sending peace and love. I am wishing you all the creative and financial freedom that is due you. I am wishing you all the prosperity and abundance that is due you as a creative and an artist. We do not claim starving artists over here in this camp. No, we don't do that. All right? So until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.